Okay, hello. My next tutorial for a resource that I use in class is going to be about Quizlet. Quizlet is a website that you can go to that houses basically digital flashcards, but it has more capabilities than just using the web for flashcards. So I'll show you a little bit about that. I'm going to open up a new web page. And then I have Quizlet saved on my favorites, so I'm going to go to that. And obviously I've already set up my account. Just like my Kahoot account, I went ahead and went pro, but doing the free version, I did that for years, maybe 6-7 years on the free version and did just fine. So I just recently went ahead and decided to pay for a premium version. So that's the only difference I have with it being free, is that I upgraded. So anywho, you bring up your dashboard once you create your account and whatnot, and you can search some quizzes or you can create your own. And I've done both, and it's super easy to create. Let's say we wanted to call this a sample quiz, and basically you enter let's just say some terms there, and I'm not even gonna try to take into account proper grammar, but I do want you guys to notice something. Do you see as I'm typing here, it already recognizes that as Spanish and then gives me some possible options here for my English, which I think is amazing. It did not ever do that in my free version. I had to type words in Spanish over here if I wanted, and then contend with the autocorrect. And I don't know if that was just because it was the free version or just because it was an older version of Quizlet, and now they have ways of doing it that's different and it notices it. So let's just say create. That's going to save that, and you can share it and add it to a class folder and do all of that stuff. And a note for all of you, I'm doing Google Classroom and I also do Remind. So this is a wonderful, wonderful way to push this quiz set out to my students, is to share it on Google Classroom. So if you click on that, it just asks you, it goes to your Google Classroom and you choose which class you want to share it with. I'm not going to share it with anyone because it's just a sample, but that would be how it would be done, would be to share it that way. So anywho, I'm going to add it to a folder, and let's just say I'm going to add it to this one, to sort. Okay, and then you click on that and get out of it. Let's go back to Quizlet here, back to the main menu. You can search for other quizzes that people have made, like Spanish direct object pronouns. And then several will come up. There are ones like, there's one that I made or that I got from someone, and then you can go down through here and look. So if you've already watched my Kahoot tutorial, you'll notice that I said that there were ways that you can get quizzes that other people have made, and then when you edit them or duplicate them, then you become the author. And the same is true for Quizlet. So to be fair, I didn't make this Chapter 7 direct object pronouns, but I did open it up and maybe deleted a few cards that weren't relevant to my class, or made some grammatical corrections, whatever the case might have been. Once you duplicate a quiz, then your name goes in as the author for that. So let's go back. And let's say I find, and I also try to look for this keyword right here, teacher, because I know if someone is a teacher, that means that they probably dotted most of their I's and crossed their T's, etc. I do also try to look for some that are somewhere within the range of 25 to 40 or 50 terms. I try not to do ones that have 100 terms and some that have like 5, because I don't think opening up a quiz with just a Quizlet with just 5 terms is very helpful. So, you know, either of these would be pretty good. You open it up, and then if you want to save it, you go over here, and then you add that set to a class folder. Let's say I'll add it to sort also, and then you just click on anywhere to get out of that. Let's go back to Quizlet, and let's go to my folders over here, and I have those are my personal ones. Let's go to my classes. So I have my various classes here, and it shows you how many quiz sets I have in there. That one that I just put in here was Spanish direct object pronouns, and you can open it up and change some things and whatnot. But let's say we want to open it as from a student's perspective. Okay, so you go to your classes that your teacher has for you. Let's go to Spanish 1, and here are various ones here that Senora Hall has, or that she borrowed from somebody else. So let's go to Auténtico 1B, or Chapter 1B from Auténtico A and 1. So you open that up, and by default it goes to the flashcards. And so you can look at it and flip it. And flip it back. When you feel like you have it pretty well memorized, you go on to another one. Same thing, going on, etc., etc., until you feel like you've learned them, or seen them anyway as flashcards. Then you can go to different types of quizzes. And so you hit got it when it kind of tells you, and it'll say desordenada, and you got to choose which of these it is. If you choose the wrong one, it'll say oops, keep studying. Reservada, if you choose the correct one, it will be, I don't know if I chose the correct one, I wasn't paying much attention, but trabajadora, hardworking, etc., etc. I don't know why it's, maybe I'm not choosing them properly. I don't know. Anywho, that's how you learn them, right? It gives you various options. You can write, and you can type those in. They do have the diacritical markings down here, but I like to tell, well, I should have been paying better attention instead of worrying about my screencast, because it's a lady, so yes, I should have chosen Estudiosa. But what I like about the diacritical markings is that they are included in here, and you can use those, but I like to tell my students to go ahead and memorize those codes and use them from the keyboard. Okay, and you can take tests, where they have tests here that are very awesome, and then you check your answers. And then I have a short throw projector and a smart board, and so I do things like this, and students will come up to the board, and they've got to drag things to the proper word to make it disappear. Artística, that kind of thing. Perezosa, etc., etc. Okay, and then once they're done with all of those, they get a certain score or a certain time, and then you reset it, and then more words or different words or whatever come up, and then the next person goes. And my students love to play that, because they can compete with one another. And then you can do gravity, where the planets need to be protected from asteroids. So it's just a game. We'll do easy. And then you watch out for the asteroids by typing the answer. that type of thing. Oh, funny. What am I doing? So anyway, I am, etc., etc. I'll get out of that. So I quit embarrassing myself by my lack of Spanish knowledge while I'm speaking in English here. So that's that. Once you create flashcards, your student, and you post them, other people can use them. Students can use them to learn the stuff, and they can play all kinds of games. And you can also do it interactively together while in class. Quizlet.